Patriotic comrades, today's episode of Jamaican political cinema is wild because charges are literally looming, court dates are circling, and the Integrity Commission versus Zavia Mayne showdown has reached full soap opera mode. And by the end of this video, you will understand why this case has Jamaica's political class sweating like they're waiting on CXC results. But the real plot twist isn't what's in the declarations. It's what's missing. And trust me, you're gonna want to see where that rabbit hole leads. The charge heard across Jamaica. Patriotic comrades, let's start with the headline. Minister of State and Member of Parliament Zavia Mayne is set to be charged under Section 43(1)(b) of the Integrity Commission Act. Basically Jamaica's version of boss, we sent you the email, we know you saw it. According to the IC, Maine didn't provide required financial info for his 2018 to 2022 statutory declarations. This includes rental income, credit card details, and investment documents. Basically everything you'd need to fact check a politician's financial life, except maybe the Netflix password, the disappearing income trick. Now here's where things get Netflix documentary spicy. In 2011, Maine declares rental income $6 million. Cash, legal, straightforward. Then 2022 rolls around and poof, like a politician during budget season, gone. Zero rental income. No, I'm not saying anything suspicious, but my Google Drive has disappeared fewer files. And then comes the property sale twist. Because if you thought $6 million missing was strange, wait till you hear about the 120 million Jamaican dollars. Wait, what's the most suspicious part of this whole situation for you? Drop your theories in the comments below. The 120 million plot twist. The IC found that Maine sold a property at Springs Plaza for 120 million Jamaican dollars, but provided absolutely no documentation. And look, I get it. I've lost receipts before, but usually they're for like KFC, Burger King, or a USB cable. Even supermarket receipts. This is the kind of missing paperwork that makes auditors age 10 years in 10 seconds. Does this IC versus Maine saga feel like accountability or chaos? Let me know in the comments below. The credit card multiverse. Then it gets even spicier. The IC requested info for a whole constellation of NCB credit cards. Credit cards, numbers ending with 1212, 5980, 1705, 5512, and the mysterious 792. The IC says the info never came. Maine's side says the bank already sent letters. The IC says that isn't enough. Maine says the IC is on a fishing expedition. The IC says, well, pass the fishing net. Then, at this point, it's less credit cards and more Avengers Endgame claim of missing transactions. Is Jamaica finally taking financial transparency seriously? Or is this another legal tug of war? Talk to me below in the comments. The Mayberry mystery. Maine reportedly has a $2 million investment, multiple Mayberry accounts, USD money market accounts, and the IC says we need the documents. Maine says why? These are companies, not personal assets. IC replies, that's cute. Anyway, send them. But here's the real twist, because Maine is not quietly taking this. Do you think the missing documents are a misunderstanding or a major red flag? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. Maine strikes back. Maine's attorneys fires back hard. Says charges are frivolous. Says IC has no authority to request company audits. Says IC is trying to embarrass him. Says IC is on fishing expedition. Says IC left out key correspondence, including his requests for Supreme Court clarification. At this point, Jamaica needs a live podcast with both sides, because this is giving hard law mixed with courthouse after dark. Who do you think has the stronger argument here? The IC or Maine's legal team? Vote below and tell me why in the comments. The bigger picture. So what's at stake? If convicted, Maine could face up to $500,000 fine, 6 months jail time, a court order forcing him to submit the documents anyway. But the real stakes. This case could set a massive precedent for how aggressively the IC can verify political financial declarations. And trust me, if the court rules one way, politicians everywhere are gonna panic. If it rules the other way, the IC's powers may never be the same. Pick one. IC overstepped, or Maine should have submitted everything. Let's see what the majority thinks in the comments below. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Quick recap. IC recommends charges against MP Zavia Mayne. Missing rental income discrepancies. $120 million property sale with no documentation. Multiple unverified NCB credit cards. Missing Mayberry investment documentation. Maine disputes IC authority. Claims IC is on fishing expedition. Possible legal precedent for future cases. Serious question. Should the IC have more power or less? Explain your stance in the comments below. So patriotic comrades, Minister of State and St. Anne Southwestern Member of Parliament Zavia Mayne is facing charges, and if he is convicted in the parish court, Maine could face a fine up to $500,000 or 6 months in jail or prison. There seems to be an basically mirror copy of how from the Prime Minister come right down to Member of Parliaments were entangled up with the Integrity Commission. Look, even the little JLP councillor them are the same attitude towards the Integrity Commission. The pattern is them really no comply with the Integrity Commission. It's like they don't respect the authority of the Integrity Commission. And Maine, who is an attorney at law and state minister in the Ministry of Finance, but there's this air of arrogance with Jamaica Labour Party people them. Trust me, Zavia Mayne is, based on the article and based on the IC say, him now fully cooperate. So even though the IC say, look, there are discrepancies in your statutory declarations, and in order to fill in those gaps of missing information where we are gonna need them and them for you. We're gonna need these detailed information to complete your statutory declaration, and this case will set a precedent if Zavia Mayne get charged. One thing get charged, even though the fine is just $500,000, 6 months in jail is a slap on the wrist. You understand? So this is a step in the right direction, same way. I think the fine should be more than just $500,000, and we can move the jail time to maybe a year or more in jail, because you see, you have to have deterrence. So the law should be a deterrent where make you think twice before you do certain things, because you know the consequences and repercussions of your actions if and when you get catch. You know, say, oh, this is the embarrassment, this is the jail time, this are the fine when I have to go pay. So Director of Investigations Kevin Stevenson said July 2025 report detailed multiple written requests sent to Maine seeking additional information, while Maine filed declarations for 2018 to 2022. The IC said he did not comply with several follow-up requests, and that caused the problem, and that's why charges were recommended against Zavia Mayne. The IC cited an October 13, 2023 letter in which it requested audited financial statements for Water Valley Development Foundation and Rockstar Development Limited, plus details on bank accounts and insurance policies. A follow-up letter dated November 9th, 2023 sought information on rental income, his salary from Zavia Mayne and company, and audited financial statements for 5 companies linked to the state ministers. Why is it so difficult and hard for anyone over the JLP, case in point Zavia Mayne, for simple prove say you are make your money legitimately, fairly or honestly through the 5 companies where link are connected to you, allegedly? Why it's so difficult to prove so uno money wanna have if you don't have 1 billion in our account? Why you can't prove say uno get that money legitimately? Why it's so hard for uno prove that? So 5 companies is linked and connected to Zavia Mayne. Why when these politicians have their company and them make their money, it is always hard to declare all of their income and assets. If you have 100 million, make you know say you have 100 million. The only thing we need for you to show how you earn your 100 million. If you earn it honestly, you see me? Or if it is from the coffers of the tax-paying Jamaicans. That's why the Integrity Commission is in place as a watchdog. So it always baffles me when me say JLP officials are go back and forth with the Integrity Commission and not comply. And we know Zavia Mayne, who's an attorney at law, he more fight this. You see me? He more push back. He more try clearing name. But as me said, there is always some scandal with allegations and accusations. Some financial scandal, and JLP officials always entangle up with the Integrity Commission. And this is not a good look for the Jamaica Labour Party. Why uno cannot successfully pass uno annual statutory declarations? Uno know it did it, uno know every year uno have to try pass that test there. How uno make money? And if it is clean money or honest money, why you can't show all of the detail as it relates to your financials in respects to your 5 or the 5 companies were linked to Zavia Mayne? If they're honest and legitimate business, it shouldn't be no issue. For proof say all of this are honest money, all of this are clean money. This is not 5 shell companies where me set up for a move round and a hide money and a evade and dodge taxes, but are indeed legitimate, companies, or they appear to be legitimate companies. And this just leave more room for a lot of questions and few little answers. Which version of the story do you find more believable? And don't hold back. Put it in the comments below. And this story is far from over. We still have court rulings, legal interpretations, political shockwaves, and the big question: did the IC overstepped, or did Maine under-deliver? If you want me to break down the next twist in this drama the moment it drops, hit like, subscribe, and click notification bell so you don't miss part 2, because trust me, this case is about to get even messier.